Now let's see scenario 4 of ship handling, where we are berthing port side alongside, and uh, we have strong onshore winds with the windage area of the ship is forward because we are trim by astern. So objective is how we will use the rudder and engine with the support of the wind to gently bring the vessel laterally and parallel with the quay. So you see first where is the windage area and where is the what you call pivot point. So in this case, when the ship is stopped, windage area is amidships and pivot point in case number 1, the windage area is forward. So when the windage area is forward and pivot point is at center, how the ship will move, and then when windage area is about, how the ship will move. So you see that wind is coming from this side. When windage area and pivot point are in one line, ship will move bodily. When the windage area is forward, so this wind will come and push from the wind, and it will turn the bow to the port side, and the stern will move quite less. Then when the windage area is aft, there is a lever from pivot point, and wind is moving the ship. The stern will move away from the wind and bow will turn into the wind. So let's see how we will use this for berthing. So how we will make use of this while berthing is the same case. The wind is coming from here, so we have to onshore wind means is coming, wind is coming to the shore. So we can move the ship, we can keep the ship little bit away and keep especially totally stopped and even keel. So the ship will move bodily to the jetty automatically. The movement due to the transfer thrust of the rudder is also opposite the wind movement. Thus, the ship also moves sideways without turning. When we are moving ahead, pivot point will be here, and windage area is aft. So then when we are moving ahead, we have studied that right-handed propeller will cause a thrust, and the bow will move to the port, and windage area in this case is aft. The wind will turn the stern to port, and the transfer thrust because of moving ahead will move the bow to the port, and slowly the ship will move bodily to the berth. So this is how we are going to make use of this windage point. So if we are moving, if we have a windage area aft, we need to move ahead and bring the bow to port, and wind will bring the stern to port. This is how slowly it will move. Now with the windage area forward, let's see how we can use it. Same, but we can go astern. So the bow will go to starboard, and aft with the wind, the stern will go to starboard. So rudder hard to starboard, control the engines and the rudder to handle the ship to the position of and parallel with the berth. So first we are moving ahead and we are giving rudder hard starboard to bring the ship parallel and little bit away, because we know the wind is coming onshore, it will push the vessel automatically. And if we go very close, we can go with very high speed and it will damage the ship. So we keep a distance and try to bring the ship parallel to the jetty, and the onshore wind will bring the ship closer to the jetty. But we need to make sure that ship is not turning much. So for that, we need to know the windage area in the pivot point. When moving ahead, pivot point is forward. So we want to try to keep the windage area up. So the wind will turn this into a, and because we are moving ahead, so bow will go to port, and so this will the wind. This will come here. So rudder hard to starboard, control the engines and the rudder to handle the ship to the position of and parallel with the berth. Then approach the berth at an angle of around 60 degrees. So initially we will approach at angle of 60 degrees, and then we will give the rudder hard starboard, and then we will apply the engines ahead with rudder hard to starboard to kill the wind movement, then astern engines to stop the ship's headway. So we'll try to bring the ship, stop the ship, and the ship moves sideways and parallel to the way. So simply speaking, approach 60 degrees, hard starboard, bring parallel, and stop and astern to bring the ship zero, and then the wind will move it to the jetty. And whatever lines were first send headlines, then stern lines, and for spring lines. So let's see, this is the model of this container ship, and adjust the ship position to suit the head. So length 120, 121 into 6.5 meters, fully loaded, single right-handed propeller. Windage area is forward as we require. Wind is 90 degrees, that is from east, and 15 degrees, 15 knots, and there is no current. So video is speeded up as a simulator. So you see this ship is approaching the jetty from here at such 60 degrees angle, around 2 knots speed, and the helm now we are giving hard to starboard. So the ship will become parallel to the jetty. This is the jetty. This is the jetty. And now we are giving full astern to stop the ship. The speed is dropping and ship is becoming parallel to the jetty. And then you can see all the wind is moving to the shore and moving the waves. And you see the ship is stopped, so pivot point is somewhere here and windage area is somewhere here. And with this ship, you see, because the windage area is a little bit forward, the ship is moving a little bit forward. So first the forward part mostly will go towards the jetty, but it's moving almost parallel because wind is not absolutely abeam. And as soon as the ship moves to the jetty, you will pass the lines, whichever part is moving first. Mostly head will move first, so we'll pass the headlines, then stern lines, and all other lines, and berth the vessel. It's quite simple. So once we reach to the jetty, we can give hard port because stern is going more in. Rudder will be working quite less, but still. And then speed is almost zero. And engine is stop. We can give a kick, small kick ahead to bring the vessel to starboard if it's going very fast. So stern headlines, stern lines, spring lines, and the vessel is berthed. That's it.